Throughout 400 million years of evolution, nature experimented with countless predatory designs, creating increasingly specialized and efficient hunters. From the first creatures with sharp teeth to the most ferocious dinosaurs, each predator represented an evolutionary attempt to perfect the art of killing. But among all these experiments, there was only one moment in Earth's history when evolution managed to create something truly extraordinary. A predator so perfectly designed for death that it had no detectable weaknesses, no flaws in its design, no aspect that could be improved. This creature wasn't just another successful predator, it was literally the perfect killing machine that nature managed to produce only once in the entire history of life on the planet. In 2018, an international team of paleontologists working in the Hell Creek Formation in Montana made the most significant discovery in modern paleontology when they found not just a common fossil but evidence of a creature that completely redefined our understanding of what evolutionary perfection means. The fossil belonged to a Tyrannosaurus rex specimen, but it wasn't a common T-Rex. This specific individual, which scientists nicknamed Su2 in honor of the famous original fossil, represented something no paleontologist had imagined possible: a predator that had transcended normal evolutionary limitations and achieved a state of absolute predatory perfection. Biomechanical analyses conducted by supercomputers revealed that this specific T-Rex possessed body proportions so precisely calibrated that every aspect of its anatomy functioned in perfect mathematical harmony. Its jaw generated exactly the necessary force to crush any available prey in its environment without wasting energy. Its legs were dimensioned with millimetric precision to optimize speed and endurance simultaneously, and its brain had evolved to process sensory information with computational efficiency that rivaled more advanced modern predators. But what made this T-Rex truly extraordinary weren't its impressive individual characteristics, but rather how each body system had been refined to work in absolute synergy with all others. High-resolution CT scan studies showed that its cardiovascular structure was calibrated to provide optimized oxygen to specific muscles during different hunting phases. Its digestive system could extract maximum nutrition from any type of meat with perfect energy efficiency, and its sensory organs were integrated so sophisticatedly they created a three-dimensional situational awareness system that detected prey, predators, and opportunities with supernatural precision. Chemical analyses of its fossilized bones revealed something even more impressive. This predator had developed a metabolic system that completely eliminated energy waste. Every consumed calorie was converted into useful predatory capacity, without excess, without deficiency, with thermodynamic efficiency that defied basic laws of biology. Its muscles operated at efficiency levels that theoretically shouldn't be possible in living organisms, generating maximum force with minimum energy consumption through cellular mechanisms that modern science is still trying to fully understand. Fossilized evidence from the surrounding area tells the story of how this perfect predator completely dominated its ecosystem in ways that transcended normal predation. Bite marks on prey fossils show it not only killed with supreme efficiency, but had developed hunting techniques so refined that each attack was executed with surgical precision, eliminating unnecessary suffering while maximizing nutritional utilization. This wasn't just a brutal assassin, but a death artist who had perfected its craft beyond anything seen before or after in nature. Behavioral studies based on bone wear patterns and fossil distribution suggest this T-Rex had developed hunting strategies so sophisticated they included long-term planning, psychological manipulation of prey through calculated intimidation, and even what appears to be primitive herbivore agriculture, managing prey populations to ensure long-term food sustainability. This creature wasn't just a predator, but an ecosystem manager that orchestrated the entire food chain around it to optimize its own survival. The most disturbing aspect of this discovery was realizing that this predator's perfection created an impossible evolutionary paradox. Genetic analyses of fossilized material showed this T-Rex had reached such an advanced evolutionary state that it had nowhere left to evolve. It had found optimal solutions to all possible predatory challenges, creating a situation where additional improvements were mathematically impossible. Evolution had literally exhausted its capacity to improve this design. This absolute perfection brought unforeseen consequences that revealed why nature never again created something similar. This predator's complete dominance over its environment eliminated all selective pressures that normally drive evolution, creating evolutionary stagnation not just in itself, but in the entire surrounding ecosystem. Prey stopped evolving defenses because no defense was effective against absolute predatory perfection. Competitors were eliminated or forced into niches so specific they became evolutionarily irrelevant. Paleoclimatic analyses showed that this perfect predator's presence created such severe ecological imbalance that it directly contributed to regional environmental changes that preceded local extinction events. Its efficiency was so great that it consumed resources faster than ecosystems could regenerate, creating cascading collapses that spread through entire food chains. Perfection, ironically, became self-destructive. Computer models developed by MIT to simulate the impact of perfect predators on ecosystems confirmed that organisms with absolute efficiency are fundamentally incompatible with long-term ecological sustainability. Predatory perfection eliminates the variability and adaptability essential for environmental resilience, creating fragile systems that collapse dramatically when facing unexpected changes. The most shocking discovery came when scientists realized this perfect T-Rex had developed awareness of its own perfection. Neural structures preserved in its skull suggest cognitive capabilities that included self-awareness, abstract planning, and even what appears to be existential contemplation. This predator didn't just kill perfectly, but perfectly understood its own lethal nature. Behavioral evidence suggests that in its final years, this predator began demonstrating something unprecedented in nature: existential hesitation. Hunting patterns changed from maximum efficiency to almost ritualistic behavior, as if it were questioning the purpose of its own perfect existence. Fossilized marks show it began sparing prey unnecessarily, possibly developing something analogous to what we would call moral conscience. The final extinction of this perfect predator didn't come through competition, predation, or disease, but apparently through something that can only be described as evolutionary suicide. The fossil shows evidence that it deliberately placed itself in a mortal danger situation, possibly recognizing that its perfection was unsustainable both for itself and for the world around it. This discovery revolutionized our understanding of evolution, proving that absolute perfection is not just rare, but potentially impossible to maintain in complex biological systems. Nature learned from this unique experience and never again attempted to create absolute predatory perfection, opting instead for designs that prioritize adaptability over maximum optimization. This perfect predator's legacy lives not only in its extraordinary fossil, but in the evolutionary lesson its existence taught: that calculated imperfection is more valuable for long-term survival than absolute perfection. Every predator that evolved afterward carried in its DNA the evolutionary wisdom that being almost perfect is infinitely more sustainable than being absolutely perfect. This creature represents both evolution's greatest triumph and greatest tragedy, proof that nature can create perfection, but that perfection is incompatible with life. It reminds us that our own flaws and limitations aren't design failures, but essential characteristics that allow us to continue evolving and adapting in a constantly changing world. The discovery of this perfect predator forces us to question our own pursuit of perfection and reminds us that in nature, as in life, well-calibrated imperfection is much more valuable than absolute perfection. What other profound lessons about evolution and existence are still hidden in our planet's rock layers? What do you consider more impressive, the fact that nature created absolute perfection or the fact that this perfection became self-destructive? Leave your opinion in the comments, and if this video changed your perspective on what perfection really means in nature. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more paleontological discoveries that will question everything you thought you knew about evolution and life on Earth.